happened is you had Rocket Man, you had Rocket Man lined up and ready to go when you joined Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And, we'll talk about your relationship with actors because, it's tremendous, your relationship with Taron. But it was Rami who was one of the people who called you up going, can you get on this movie?
Yeah, it was. And I didn't know him. And I had been attached to the project in another iteration a couple of years before when it was at a different studio. And that almost got going and then didn't for script reasons and other reasons, and which was very difficult because I'd worked a long time on that. But
that's crazy. Was that hard then? How going back to something that you'd walked away from because you couldn't make it work creatively with what you wanted to do, and then returning to it later?
It was. I mean, I don't know if there was a certain sense of Schadenfreude, if that's the right word. Because, you come away eventually go, God, it was me. And eventually go, no, it wasn't me. Fuck them. They never got it together. I did my thing. It was great. It was great. They couldn't make it work.
At that point, you're sleeping like a baby.
Yeah, great. You're on to something else. But the producers of it, Graham King and his right-hand man, guy Dennis O'Sullivan, who I first met in Toronto when Sunshine on Leith had gone to Toronto. And they came to me then and went, you should do the Bohemian Rhapsody movie. And I was like, that sounds great. Yeah, I'd love to do that. So I knew those guys. And I think when they started having issues for whatever reason, my name was one of the first on the list of okay, who could pick up the ball while it's running? Because I already had a relationship with the band, with Roger and Brian, because of my involvement before. We got very close to doing it. So they knew me. And obviously it's important for them. And I also had a relationship with the producers. The studio, I had a relationship because I just had Eddie the Eagle come out and everyone was very happy about that.
Lovely movie.
Great, it's gone down very well. So I was like, okay, and I shot it on time and under budget and all the stuff that so they felt good about that. So it was like a lot of circumstances all coming back, sort of pointing towards the right thing. So I think I was just the top name on a very short list who could do it. And I was familiar with the material, although it was a different script. I still knew the material, and it was literally like on a Thursday, are you interested in this? And I went to Matt Vaughan, who's producing Rocket Man. In fact, he brokered it, is the truth be known. Matt Vaughan said, look, I've had a call from the Fox, who are our studio, and they're in trouble. What would you think about it? I said, well, what do you think about it? Because I'm actually preparing Rocket Man. He said, well, it might be interesting to see what they're doing. Right, because there's a certain crossover. It's like, oh, right, I get you.
He's a clever man.
He's a clever man. He's a clever man. And I said, okay. I said, but it's going to take me out for 3 or 4 weeks. And he's like, look, we're far enough out. It won't hurt us. It's our studio. And I said, okay, all right. I'm up for it. I'll go and meet them. And so I met Graham King and Dennis, and they said, look, Rami would love to sit down and we talk about it. I said, all right. And they said, but look, you're going to start on Monday. I said, okay, well, let me see it. And they said, no, you can't see it. We need you to answer yes or no now.
Wow. Can you show me anything?
Yeah, exactly. No. And they said, well, if you agree, we'll show you all of what we got, but not until you agree to do it.
So protected. That's the film industry.
It was. And I got to say, more power to him. Matt Vaughan went, I'll come with you and watch it as well. So I said, all right, yeah. And me and Matt Vaughan went and watched it. And Matt was like, and it was because there was big gaps in it and there was some stuff in it. I was like, I don't get that. There was some things that they'd kind of done. I was like, and it felt disjointed. Of course, it was a rough assembly of something that was halfway through being made. And Matt was like, well, look, it's your call. He said, there's something there. There's a there, but we got Rocket Man. And then he started going, I was like, no, it's all right, I can do it.
So he flipped roles. He's actually, wait, no,
yeah,
Rocket Man.
Yeah, I said, well, I've kind of committed myself. No, he was brilliantly supportive. He was. I credit where it's due. And so he did it, and he sort of shrugged his shoulders, and I said, okay, right, I'm doing it. And I did. I started on the Monday, but I went and sat with Rami, I think, like the Saturday night for dinner. And he was super electrified by it. And I think he'd seen Eddie maybe, and he knew me because there's a lot of Brits in it. And people know me and they go, oh, yeah, Dexter's cool, or whatever they say. Or whatever. And they said the right thing, whatever they said. And he was excited. And And yeah, I said, okay, we're going to do a bit of rehearsal first before we do anything. So I got a couple of extra days, and I did some rehearsals with him and the band and Lucy, and because they were the scenes that were coming up, it was really the heart of the relationship was coming up with him and Lucy, him and Mary, Freddie and Mary. So yeah, I got into that with them, and we kind of just, and then I just, and I know that they'd had trouble getting going because the first AD was the first AD who did Eddie the Eagle with me. He was a mate, and I was like, how's it going there? And he's like, we don't seem to get started until about 1 o'clock. And I was like, right, fuck that. I'm going to be there at 7:30 every morning. If we're not all on the set by 8 and ready to rock and roll, then there's something. So I came in with this real sort of, because the studio also said to me as well, like, look, we're hemorrhaging money. It's, we really need to get this thing going. So I was like, right, I'm your man. And I wanted to do good. I wanted to, drive. So I did. I sort of drove it in a way that I think everyone was like, oh, good, this is what we want. We want someone to just take the fucking reins and do that.
I guess with that, you have to park your ego a little bit as well, because you are sort of, it's like you're bringing you to it, but you can't bring too much of you because you've got to fit in with what the tone of the material that's already been shot is.
Yeah. I mean, I went with a very clear thought in my head that it's not my movie. It's my predecessor's movie. I have to try and understand what it is that he was doing and make it to be part of that whole, because I can't get to shoot the whole thing. They've shot 8 to 9 weeks already and spent many, many millions. And so there is a parking of ego in one respect, but the other part of my ego is like, be really good.
Yeah, of course.
So that my ego was sated in another respect, I suppose.
I mean, do you think it should have been R-rated? Was that one of the reasons that you couldn't make it work in the first place? It sounds like a loaded question, because obviously it went on to make, 900 million. So that is, you could say, no, it shouldn't have been R-rated.
Yeah.
But in terms of the material.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, no, you're right. Look, the numbers speak for what it is.
Yeah.
And I think the difference between, because Rocket Man does push that envelope more. It does, but the difference is that Freddie is not around to defend himself, and the only people who are making that film are people who loved him very dearly, who are still around and have something that they're not defending, but they're holding close a memory of someone they love. Whereas Elton goes like, darling, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I did it all. Yeah, I did it all. And you're getting it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
There's nothing in between that and what happened, and then it's about how you interpret it. Of course, there's a very valid argument for you could have made Bohemian Rhapsody far darker than it was. Look, the rock star lifestyle is very well documented to have its casualties, and not that I think that Freddie was a casualty of the rock star lifestyle. He may have been, not a victim's the wrong word. He's not a victim, but he may have fallen, foul of a terrible, terrible disease.
Yeah.
But and obviously there was excesses in it. That's young people with success and money, and that's kind of what Rocket Man is about as well. Rocket Man is about how you lose you have the ability to lose yourself within that, and we've seen it. It's well documented. Many rock stars do it very publicly. And there would be a very valid argument for making a Bohemian Rhapsody R-rated. You could do it. It'd be great, but that's not what they wanted.
No.
They wanted to look at the memory of someone in a different way, and in a way that it made it really accessible to
Queen fans everywhere, of every age, and of every, some people. I'm sure, like you say, the numbers speak for themselves. So a lot of people were very happy to see. I mean, I guess a slightly sanitized version of what that film could have been.
I mean, it is sanitized, I suppose, but it's only sanitizing, like, just didn't choose to show all of the picture. I mean, And by a picture, they're this really gnarly thing. I've done 3 of them now.
I was going to say that
3 of them.
You're very experienced in this area.
Well, I'm getting to be. It's all right. It's okay. But the truth is, it's what I realised on Eddie. And it's it was important for me to understand is that there was this thing with the skis that Michael Edwards used to jump with in 1982, or I can't remember what it was now, 4. I'm sure I'm getting that wrong.
Yeah, that's the Calgary. Was it the Calgary Olympics? Yeah. Whenever they were,
I should remember.
Fans.
Yeah, whenever it was, writing on a postcard to Alex Zane, his house, his street, London.
I'll give out my address at the end of the show.
That the particular skis that he wore then, everybody wore, are now completely illegal.
Yeah.
Technology's moved on, it's just illegal. And they don't even make them anymore. You could probably buy them in some old antique shop, but they're completely impractical. You can't have them. And I was like, they've got to be the right bindings on the skis. That's really important. And they came to me several times and said, look, it just can't be done. If we're going to shoot any ski jumping, we have to use the modern lawful things. You can't just stick illegal skis on people and make them jump because they'll kill themselves.
Right.
And if they hurt themselves, that's it. There's no insurance. We're done.
So you choose the right thing to do, which is
it's almost like So yes. So then I'm laid on. Oh my god! And then I thought, does it matter?
Yeah, you're worrying about that minority that are going to go, actually, I'm sorry, but those bindings were completely incorrect for the Calgary Games in 1980. I know what the answer is.
Yeah, and look, there are people there, and that's important to them.
Yeah.
But I went, there's 0.000.1% or whatever it is, and I have to just take the letters. I'll have to take the letters. And it's the same thing with Bohemian Rhapsody. There's anachronisms and timeline mistakes and people were there that weren't there and vice versa. There's a whole load of that stuff. The same in Rocket Man, you get away with it because it's just his befuddled memory.